Hi students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Wahid Yusuf, your English teacher, and today we are going to start a new poem that is the Tale of Custard the Dragon. So this is the title of the poem which we are going to start today. And as far as this poem is concerned, it is written by Frederick Odgen Nash. Federi, Frederick Odgen Nash. And today's lecture would be based on the poet, that is Frederick Odgen Nash, or we can simply call him Odgen Nash. So I will tell you something about the poet who is Frederick Odgen Nash. See, as far as this poet is concerned, as far as the poet Frederick Odgen Nash is concerned, he was born on 19th August 1902, 19th August 1902, at a place that is known as Ray, New York. And then he was also raised in Ray and Savannah, that is a place in Georgia. And his death dates are May 19th, 1971. That is Maryland, New York. Maryland, New York. So this is the date of birth and date of death of Odgen Nash. So the date of birth is 9 August 1902, and the date of death is May 19th, 1971. And he was an American poet. He was professionally an American poet, and he's known for light verse. He's known for unconventional rhyme schemes, and he's known for his humorous poetry. This is what made Arjun Nash different from all other poets. He's a different kind of poet. He's a different kind of poet because he adopted these things. He adopted this light verse in his poetry. He adopted this unconventional rhyme schemes or non-conventional rhyme schemes, and his poetry is a lot of humorous. We call his poetry sometimes nonsense poetry as well, because there is this fun humor this silly things are there. So that is why his poetry is different from all other poets. See, if I try to explain light verse, see, I told you that he's famous for light verse first, then he's famous for unconventional rhyme schemes. See, unconventional rhyme schemes means those rhyme schemes which don't follow any recognized rhyme. So he wrote poetry in those rhyme schemes which are not recognized. So they are not conventional, they are not traditional, they are not recognized. That is how it is called as unconventional rhyme scheme. That is what he followed, unconventional rhyme scheme. And his poetry is also humorous. That is, we find silly things in his poetry. We find a lot of laughs in his poetry. That is, his poetry makes us laugh. His poetry makes us laugh. And there is this lot of humor in his poetry. And he's famous for this light verse. So I'll explain to you first what light verse is. See, poetry that is written to amuse and entertain. Simple, in simple words, I can say that poetry that is written, so that kind of poetry which amuse and entertain the reader, which amuse and entertain the reader. That is what light verse is. It is a kind of poetry which amuse and entertain the reader, and it involves the use of wordplay. it very much it involves the use of wordplay. It involves with the use of fun. It involves the use of heavy alliteration. It involves the use of rhyme, etc. Pun is, for example, play of words where words are reversed, twisted around, and get multiple layers of meaning, and heavy alliteration. So he adopts this heavy alliteration, that means a lot of alliteration to make sense, to make the words musical, etc., to make the words effective. He uses a lot of this word play, and that is what light verse is, where we have the use of wordplay, where there is the use of fun, use of rhymes, use of heavy alliteration, and it is mainly written to entertain and amuse readers. That is what light verse is. See, this Odgen Nash, he was educated at Harvard University. He got his education from Harvard University, but only for a year. Later on, he became a dropout of that university. And before that, he got his education from St. George's School in Rhode Island. This is about his education. And he worked as an editor. He worked as an editor at Doubleday Publishing House, where he first began to write poetry. So it was the time when he was working as an editor at a Doubleday Publishing House, that he started writing poetry. And as far as Origin Nash is concerned, actually I told you that he's known for his light verse, and he has written over 500 pieces of light verse. So over, that means 500 plus light verses. That is 500 plus pieces of light verse he has written. So he has written 500 plus pieces of light verse, and he also follows this unconventional rhyme schemes in his poetry. And Nash was also declared as the country's best known producer of humorous poetry, as he followed the unconventional rhyme schemes. He wrote light verses. So that is why he was declared as the country's best known producer of humorous poetry. And as far as his job, his career is concerned, he first job in New York. He got his first job in New York as a writer of streetcar ads. And that was his job at New York. And his first poem was published in New Yorker magazine. That was the Supreme Comes to Murray Hill. That was his first poem that was published in New Yorker magazine in 1930. The magazine name was New Yorker magazine, in which it was published, and the dates are 1930. So in 1930 he published his first poem, Spring Comes to Murray Hill, and that was published in New Yorker magazine. And Orgen Nash is also known for his crafted words. He has crafted his own words in the poem, that is the tale of Custer the dragon. You will see how many new words he has crafted, how many new words he has invented. So he crafted these new words to give the musical effect to his poem, to make the poem to make the rhyme scheme of the poem. So he has invented, he has crafted these new words, and he has used them frequently in his poetry. And Nash is known for the fondness for crafting his own words whenever rhyming words don't exist. So whenever he was writing a poem and there were no rhyming words, and he would create his own. He would craft his own rhyming words. And for example, we have in this poem, that is the tale of Custard the Dragon, we have some words like relio, trilio. So that are the words which have been created, which have been crafted by this Odgen Nash. And as far as his career is concerned, he was not only he wrote poems. Nash not only wrote poems, he was a guest. He went to give his guest appearances on comedy shows. So he acted as a guest on certain comedy shows, and he presented lectures at college levels and at universities. So at these levels, at colleges, at universities, he presented so many lectures, and his was the guest appearances on comedy shows as well. And as far as Nash is concerned, Nash has received an award, that is Sarah Josepha Hale Award, in 1964. And as far as his writing is concerned, as far as his publishing is concerned, he published his first collection of poems in 1931. He published his first collection of poems in 1931, and that was Hard Lines. That was Hard Lines, and it earned him national recognition, and he was very famous because of this publication, that is Hard Lines. And Origin Nash, if we try to find out the literary works of Origin Nash, he has published 19 books of poetry. 19 books of poetry. And he's a different kind of writer. He's simply another writer who is not counted among other writers, other poets. He's a different kind of poet, and he published his first collection of poems, that is Hardliners, and that earned him national recognition. And he's America's most accomplished writer of light verse. He's also known for this. He's known as America's most accomplished writer of light verse, because Nash applied his love of language to poems, stories, and lyrics. To poems, stories, and lyrics. And he was a versifier who invented and misspelled words. He sometimes misspelled words also to create unexpected rhymes. So that is why his poems are written in non-conventional, unconventional rhyme schemas. And that is how he was a versifier who invented and misspelled words to create unexpected rhymes. And Nash's fables on human foibles continue to delight and inspire people worldwide. So, this was an introduction about the life and career of this Odgen Nash, who is the poet of our poem, that is The Tale of Custard the Dragon. It is a very interesting poem, and it is also written in light verse, and it is it is very funny, and it is very humorous as well, for which Arjun Nash is very well known. So this was it, and tomorrow I'll come up with another lecture on this poem, that is The Tale of Custard the Dragon. Till then, stay healthy, and Allah Hafiz.